Hi everyone, it's Cathy from ScamHaters United Australia and New Zealand. This is a very impromptu podcast. We decided to do a podcast today because we've had a bit of activity in the last 24 hours where we've had 5 victims come to us, and they've been very sad stories and they really need help. And I am going to be joined by one of my admins, Alicia, and we're just going to talk about how they manipulate you. Hi, Alicia.
Hi, Cathy. How are you?
Oh, yes, I'm good, love. I'm really good. Thank you very much for joining us. As I was just saying, we thought we'd do this podcast because it's been an amazing 24 hours victim-wise. And it needs to be told again how they manipulate you. I've had one victim where their loved one has been in a romance scam for 4 years and nothing and no one is going to be able to help her loved one get out of it. So I thought we've just got to do the awareness and education yet again and how the scammers will manipulate you. So you'll get a scammer, and I'm not talking about dating sites, I'm talking about social media, where they will approach you on social media, whether it be Facebook or Instagram, WhatsApp, anything like that, and they will approach you and it goes from there. So, Alicia, do you want to kick off and just explain what the scammers will say to you?
Well, first off, some of them will ask you for a gift card. That's sort of testing the waters, see if you'll give money. And they'll use an
Mm.
excuse to say that, they need the $200 card to be able to keep in contact with you. Yeah, or they'll say, I don't want to, oh, can you get it for me? I don't want to lose communication with you, like they'll use those sort of excuses. Um,
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And a lot of them will say that they're either in the military or they're on an oil rig, businessmen, pilot, doctors, they're on a secret mission. We love those secret missions. And the lies that they will tell you. Now, most of the scammers will say that they're widowed and they are um, either their wife or their spouse has died in a car accident, has had cancer, their wife has died of childbirth, and they've been
And
left with a child or children.
yeah, they were using COVID for a short time too. Yeah.
That's exactly right. And they'll say that they're overseas, especially the oil riggers. They'll say they're working on an oil rig and they'll say that their Wi-Fi isn't very good. They have a helicopter fly in onto the oil rig once a week with supplies, but the food is absolutely dreadful. And they'll ask for gift cards. And that always gets me because how can you use a gift card on an oil rig?
That's right.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, really. It's ridiculous. Um, and with the scammers, when they approach you, they will start off with genuine conversations, and within a matter of a week, they'll start becoming very affectionate.
Yes.
And then within 2 weeks, they're totally in love with you. Now, that doesn't happen in the real world, people. It does not happen.
No.
And who in their right mind, what man would ask a woman for thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars?
It's
That's
just
not,
they no.
it's wrong. It is so wrong. And the worst thing about it is that, now this is what I want to talk about with gift cards. Gift cards are the worst because you can't get any any money back whatsoever on gift cards, and this is why the scammers love them.
Oh yeah, so
Um,
the very
if it's
like someone's bank
yeah,
account to sell them to. Yep.
yeah, if it's through PayPal or through your bank, well, that's a different story. It can be resolved hopefully by your financial institution. The language they use is all copy and paste, everyone. It's all copy and paste.
Those love poems.
They will, yeah, and they won't offer. They won't say they will say they can't video call because one, they're either not allowed to if they're in the military. It goes against their rules and regulations, or if they're on an oil rig where they'll say the reception is really bad. And the reason for that is they can video call. If you are in the military, and we've even heard Caesar say this, if you are in the military, you can ring home and you can have a video call.
That's right.
A lot of the, yeah, a lot of the scammers will, yeah, and a lot of the scammers will call their victims and they'll think, that sounds like a really, really strange accent. He said he's from the US, but he's got a very, very thick African accent.
Germany or in some other foreign country, and he's half American and half German. That's why that accent.
And that's very common, isn't it, Alicia? That they will have them from two different countries. It's
Yep.
a never-ending battle with these scammers. It just makes my blood boil. It really, really does, because it's just so unfair. They destroy lives. They
Yep.
really do. It's terrible. Absolutely terrible. So education and awareness is what we have to get out there. So can you just bring some of the tips that we can tell our viewers, please, Alicia?
Well, do your research. When you meet somebody online, do a reverse search. I know some women aren't very technical savvy, and that's why they are falling victim. Because I was the same. I wasn't very technical savvy. And you got to learn. You've got to learn how to do reverse search before you meet anybody.
Mm, mm, and also talk. If look, a lot of people, they say that when their family has found out that they've been in a romance scam or they're in the scam, their family don't want to know them. And that is really, really sad, because they're your
Scammers are
nearest and dearest.
jealous of their relationship. Scammers have got that way. They manipulate you. And don't keep it a secret. Don't tell anybody that we're in a relationship. We'll prove them wrong. When we're walking down the street hand in hand, or we'll prove the family wrong. They just the crap they tell
It'll never happen. um,
you.
I could read you some extracts of what I've had in the last 24 hours, and I'm sure that it will, a lot of the victims will understand, that what has actually happened. I won't name names because I've got to protect the victim's privacy. But it's just terrible. One victim said he tricked me after sending a profile, all my money several times, and he is still holding to his excuse. His identity was stolen and he can't straighten out his accounts until he gets here. So he's going to fly to her.
Yes.
Only seen pictures, no videos, no video calls at all. Although she did speak to the scammer on the phone, pardon me, and he had a very thick Nigerian accent, and no way the man I've been chatting with for over a year.
And the voice never suits the person. Like you can see that you think,
It
I wouldn't speak
doesn't.
down that way,
It,
you know.
no, it doesn't. It's and with the scammers, they've always got a matter of urgency with them. Look, when when the scammers approach you, when they finally approach you for money, that is what the whole conversation revolves around.
Yes.
The scammer will never ever ask you, darling, how was your day? What are you up to today? All I'll say to you is, how did you sleep? Have you eaten?
Yes. Have you had
Yes.
your
And
taken your coffee?
yeah. Have you eaten? Had your coffee? And that's it. Then they'll get
Yeah.
straight into the money. And it's every conversation from then on. They don't care.
Yeah. That's
They
right.
do not care about you one iota.
Like they'll say to I remember one time they said, "Oh, can you get me a gift card?" I said, "I haven't got the money." And no, I said, "Yeah, I haven't got the money." He goes, "It's not, it's not going to cost you any. Like, gift cards cost money." I tell him, "I haven't got the money. Can you get me a gift card?" You're like, because there was times I let myself broke because of my scam. I even had to
Mm.
go sometimes to get food, and struggling to pay
And,
my
and
rent.
and they will keep trying. They will keep trying.
Yep.
You know,
And you get them the gift cards, and I won't ask for anything. And the next day they're back asking, or the day after asking for something else. "Oh, can you receive a package for me? I've got money. I'll call you back."
oh,
And then
yes.
that's when they show you the fake bank account, and you log in and you see they've got a couple of $1 million in their account.
Actually, that's a very, very good point, Alicia. The fake bank accounts. Now, they're all made up. They
Yes,
do them on a program, and they will even give you the login.
and then
And
when
it's
the next day they tell you that they can't log in again, and blame you because someone was logging in from a different location, so they've frozen my account. And they blame you for it, and they were asking you to log in. Even if you went in and logged in the next day, wouldn't. Yeah, the account, I think it's only for one use when they create those.
it's maddening. It really it. I get very, very passionate about it. It makes my heart bleed. It really does. And I feel so sorry for all the men and all the women that are coming to us. And it's the same story. It's the same script. And you are not just talking to one scammer in your
True.
scam.
I'll ask you the same question. Think, I've told you this already, and that means it's somebody else talking to you, not the same person that you originally started talking with.
Mm.
They'll ask,
And they, sorry, excuse me, everyone, I'm still getting over my flu. They will also um, call you in the wee hours of the morning,
yes, I,
and the reason why they do that is for sleep deprivation, because they know that, the endorphins in your brain are not
yes,
working 100%, and it's, you are just so overcome with all the love bombing.
yeah, yeah. And you wait for their contact, which, you sort of get yourself into a routine because they're going to sort of contact you late at night. So, and you're sitting there waiting for them to message you.
Mm, mm, yeah. So we've really, really, really got to emphasize the education and the awareness. And the awareness is you are not talking to a soldier, a doctor, an oil rigger, a businessman, um, a gemstone manufacturer, nothing.
Yeah, that's right.
Absolutely nothing. And they will also tell you, especially with the businessman, they will say to you that they've got gold bars.
Yes.
That's another thing.
To them for me until I get back? Mm,
Exactly. It's what amazes me is they've always when they start talking to you, and they get to the stage where they really, really want to meet you. So, you know, and you are just so overwhelmed by all this. You can't believe that it's finally going to happen, but they can't afford to buy the airfare because, once again, they can't get into their account. So you buy the airfare for them, and they will send you the itinerary. They'll send you a copy of their passport. They would text you and say, okay, my darling, I'm on the way to the airport now. I'll be on the plane at such and such. I'll message you when we land, when we're halfway, and I'll let you know when I'm reboarding. So you're all excited. You go out to the airport at the day of the arrival.
No show.
No show.
And then contact you all of a sudden and tell you they've been held up
No
somewhere.
show. And they will ghost you. They will ghost you for about 2 days. And they'll come back and say to you, oh, look, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. But when I got to when I actually landed, I was going through immigration and somebody had slipped in gold bars, or they slipped in thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, even drugs.
Yeah.
We've had actually a couple of women in Australia who that has happened to, and they've been held. They've been held up in jail at the airport. Now, as we know, airports don't have jails. They have holding cells, but they don't have jails. But I have to pay a $25,000 fine to be able to be released. It's total rubbish. And they will bleed you. They'll bleed you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know, that it never ends. It never ends. And there's, as I said, there's always a disaster. There's the one at the airport, or they've been on the way to the airport and they've been involved in a serious car accident. They're in hospital and they finally message you after 3 days of not hearing from them. Oh, look, I was involved in a very bad car smash. I've got a broken leg. But I've got no way to pay this hospital bill. Can you help me?
Yeah.
Come on.
Until I pay the bill, you know, make it urgent, and you know, once you pay the bill, I'll be released, and then I'll be on my way. You know.
And the scripts are all the same. And as I was saying before, I was about to say before, with the scripts, you're not just talking to one scammer, you're talking to many. And what I mean by that is that they will work in groups and they will do, say, 8-hour shifts, and the first one will finish for the day. The next one, and they will stop they will pause the conversation, and then the next scammer will come on and start the conversation again. And you would be able to tell also, you'll start to realise that, hang on a minute, he's never been this angry before. And you'll start to realise that they are different scammers.
Yeah. There's spelling, there will be something different, and you sort of, it's like a bit ignore.
And you brought that's a very, very good point to bring up, the spelling. Their grammar is atrocious.
It
because English is not their first language.
No, that's right. That's right. And they're using a translator a lot of times, or
Yes, or they use Grammarly.
Yes.
No, it's with it's just it's wrong. It is so wrong, and unfortunately, it is worldwide.
Yes.
It is everywhere.
Yep. Every country.
Well, that's right. That's right. Can you think of besides the things that I've talked about, Alicia? What else will scammers say to you?
Oh, they'll say anything just as long as, sweet talk you. When they ask you for money, that's when they love bomb even more. They do a lot more love bombing, so to sweet talk you to make sure you can send them the money,
Mm.
yeah. There are certain things that they say, like
They will
say,
also send you gifts.
try your possible best to send the money today, honey. I'm passing through a lot. And that didn't sound, when I remember hearing that, I'm thinking, that sounds weird. And I've since learned that's how Nigerians talk.
Sorry, can you say that again?
Um, try your possible best to send the money today, honey. I'm passing through a lot. That is I watch these Nigerian shows and they say these sort of
Right.
things in
And what
Nigeria.
do they mean by that? I'm
Well,
passing through a lot.
we say, oh, I'm going through a lot here. Try your very
Right.
best. That's what they're meaning to say, but they say it that way. There's a certain way that Nigerians actually talk. They could be using a translator. They have
Okay.
things that they say. And I've been watching
Um,
Nigerian shows and learning a bit more about them. They all poison each other over there, and they're a
mm,
terrible group of people. Yeah.
mm. One thing they will also do too is when it comes to going to the bank, they will
Oh,
actually be on the phone with you
they
while
will.
you're at the bank. And they will say, don't listen to the teller, don't listen to the bank manager. I'm telling you what to do, and this is what you got to do. They'll ask you to withdraw money, send it back through Bitcoin. No,
Yes.
don't.
Even
Look,
being
they love the Bitcoin, they love cryptocurrency, they love the
yes.
gift cards.
Yeah. Oh.
Um,
And sometimes they
yeah,
don't even say
anything.
thank you. They don't even say thank you when you do.
No.
You got to. What about the thanks? Aren't you going to say
Mm,
thank you?
mm.
You know, well, that's what happened with
And
me anyway.
it's, yeah. Look, the psychological damage that they can do to people, oh my God.
Yeah, and because you get when you're talking to them and you're doing it for months, you get used to talking to somebody every day, and you've got to feel that emptiness, that void that they used to take up. Because you'd spend hours at home waiting for them, and then once they're gone, you're lost. It's horrible, even though you've been scammed, but you've still got that emptiness afterwards. You got used
And
to
I've
talking.
had, yeah, and I've had victims, and I've had to, completely undo all the work I've done with them and start all over again because yes, I've got them out of the scam, but then they've turned around and reinitiated the conversation because they are so lonely. They are
And they get back at
desperate.
maybe he was the real one. Yeah, maybe he was the real one. And some people
Mm,
hang around hoping they get their money back, like I did. I hung around a bit longer than I should have, wanting to get my
mm.
money back.
And it won't happen.
No, you'll never get it back.
It won't
Yeah.
happen.
They'll
um,
ask you to receive a blank check or a check in the mail, and yeah, and you can take some money out of it, and yeah, it can be some. I can send you some money, and you receive some money for me, and send it to me through Bitcoin, and you can keep some for yourself. That's another thing way they get women.
mm, mm, mm. It's but I was getting to the psychological side of being a victim of a romance scam. Um, I, I mean, I will talk in my own situation. That is, okay. I've been widowed for 10 years. Um, I haven't been with anyone. Um, so all of a sudden, I'm getting all this beautiful romance and what I thought was genuine attention and love, and it completely blindsides you.
Does. It's something I
It
was never
really
used.
does.
My partner was never a
Yeah.
real romance person, and I've never been a
No.
person been
Mm.
romanced. So
Well, see, I'm a bit of a romantic at heart, where I do believe in genuine love, but certainly not love like this. And these scammers, what? alienate you from your family, your friends, and when your family does find out, unfortunately, a lot of the victims, then they don't get the support of the family and friends, and they're left high and dry. Can you imagine how that feels?
Yeah, it'd be terrible. I
Oh, awful.
she said he must have done some really good, quick, good talking with you to get this money out. Because I'm usually very tight-fisted with money. I even I gave away my money, and this was money my partner left for me, because I looked
Mm,
up over 15 years. He was in a wheelchair
mm,
last life, and he just
mm,
a way for me to. He wanted
mm.
me to have some fun in life because I'd looked after him for so long, and it took up a lot of time, and
It's,
bastard.
yeah, it's terrible. Um, so they're not real. They are not real. They're criminals.
Oh yeah,
And I'm sorry, but that's exactly what they are. They're criminals. They're, I won't say what I really want to say because I could get into trouble, and I don't want to get cut off. But since I've been doing this has made me more resilient, a very strong person, a very knowledgeable person, and also empathetic. But one thing that really I can't understand is when somebody comes to us and they want help, and we're here to help, not a problem at all. We
the
tell
last.
them everything and they won't.
Yep,
They won't listen.
give them evidence and everything. Show them some evidence of the real person's profile, or
Mm, mm. And one thing you should never ever do is try and hunt the real person.
no,
Don't
that's
do that because they're a victim themselves and they know that they've been used.
yeah, yep,
I
exactly. They
always
know.
say, Alicia, there's three people in the scam, and that's the victim themselves, the scammer,
Yeah,
and the profile that they're using.
exactly.
Can you imagine what it's like day in, day out to
It's
have
worse,
your profile used? And
especially the
numerous, hundreds of times a week.
yeah, 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 the ones that get contacted every day by angry women. Some women will accept it, but they can't even answer half the them because there's so many women coming
Mm,
and same story. It's so
mm,
hard. The ones who
mm,
have they reach out to their wives and say, "Oh, your husband's cheating on you with me. We're supposed to be getting married. And I know you're divorced. I know you aren't together anymore." Like that. And these are just they believe the lies that are coming from the scammer. Believe the scammer over their own family.
mm. Yeah. So, and they'll say, for God's sake, don't listen to your family, don't listen to your friends, listen to me. Don't you trust me? That's a line they always use. Don't you trust me? Um,
Yeah,
and when you think about it, why should you trust them? You've never seen them, you've never
yeah.
spoken to them. It's all just text. That's all it is. That's all it
You
is.
tell
It's
them
just
everything about
text.
yeah. You tell them everything about yourself, and you know very little about them. Really, they just there's just this love bombing and asking for money. That's all the conversation ends up being.
Mm,
Right?
mm. And and getting back to when they first approach you, look, it could take a matter of time. It mightn't take a week. It could take, a month, but they will groom you and they will find out as much information as they can. One thing you should not do, don't send them intimate pictures.
Absolutely not. That's yeah, just blackmail you with it later
Don't
on down.
send them exactly. They will blackmail you, and then that's when it turns into a sextortion scam. I think I haven't told people this. I know I've told you and my other admin. I did a bit of research, and with sextortion, pardon me, here in Australia, I found, I think it was 23 sextortion victims in Australia that had committed suicide.
I never realised.
And
Oh,
that was since 2013. That's terribly sad.
it is. It surprises me how they target teenagers, because teenagers don't have the money. They don't have
No,
money,
of course
so
they don't.
no, they
Of
don't.
course they don't.
Yeah.
They don't. Um, Alicia, what can we tell victims when they won't listen? What's your advice?
You just, I don't know. You just got to say, look, trust me. I'm not trying to get anything from you. Just believe when I'm telling you this. Like I normally start out when I talk to a victim. I'm being a victim myself. I understand exactly
Mm.
what you're through right now. You know.
I
Tell
know
them.
when a victim comes to me, the first thing I do is I offer them a video call.
Oh yes, yes. Oh,
And
or
and the
anything.
reason for that is because with a scammer won't video call you.
No.
And this way I'm being transparent. They can see that I am the genuine person. I will listen. Sorry for clearing my throat. Please excuse me. I will listen to them and I will let them say whatever they want. With the victim, there is no, when you come to us, you don't have to be embarrassed. You are not stupid. By
No.
all means,
Exactly.
it can happen to anyone.
Yep. Yep.
It can happen to anyone. Um, but with yeah, don't send intimate pictures. And I will say to a victim, look, I am here to help you, listen to you, give you the advice that you need. But one thing I must ask you, and that is you must be honest with me. Because if you can't be above board and being honest, well, you will never get out of the scam.
I always warn
um,
don't accept
sorry.
any. I always warn victims who don't accept any more friend requests from somebody you don't know, because big chances are it's the same scammer with a different profile picture, a new
Mm,
profile.
mm. And with the military scams too, I know we keep going all over the shop, but with military scams too, they will always have the soldier and then they'll have the commander.
Yes.
Now,
Oh, yeah.
in real life, a commander will not be contacting you.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
You know,
But
that's a load of rubbish.
yeah, there's such thing as a fiance form or anything like that. And if you're only interested in the soldier itself, or if they're married.
You know, or they'll have a form for a replacement soldier.
Yep, that's all crap. Doesn't exist.
Mm, mm, yeah.
Peace.
Look, yeah, that they will manipulate you,
Yep.
and they are very, very, very good and very evil with what they do.
Oh yeah.
I know I was a victim myself. Um, and they will, I mean, well, you know, as you said, you were a victim yourself too, Alicia. They will do everything and anything to get under your skin,
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
you know, and they won't stop.
And they don't care whether you're on a pension, if you're disabled, you're breathing and you've got money. Yeah, they'll scam you. They don't care. What you're going through. Nothing. It's all about the money. You know. I seen a
With my,
story scamming an autistic girl. Like they've got no heart. So
mm,
greedy. Just get your money and go out partying and buy, paying for prostitutes and everything in their country, you know, and bragging about all the, you know, the stuff that they buy out of scammed money. You know?
Calvin Klein's. Yeah.
And like I said, they buy houses, a couple of cars, even a home. They even buy houses or stay in fancy hotels. It's just
They are very, very wealthy.
oh
You know,
yeah,
and they'll leave you penniless. Oh yeah, you know, some of them I've heard some really tragic stories, and you know, it just amazes me
yeah,
how cruel and how evil they are. When I was scammed, I was quite ill, and um, I'd been in hospital. I was having treatment, and it was awful, you know. But they didn't care about me. All they were worried about was that they got their next penny.
yeah.
You know, they won't ask you how is the family.
No, no.
And every conversation is all to do with they need more money. Oh, makes me bloody sick.
Yeah,
You know, it's wrong. People, they are scammers. I'm sorry, but it's the truth of it. They are scamming you. You've never ever met them. You've never seen them on a video call. They might have sent you a video call, but it might have been only maybe 30 or 40 seconds. And if you notice very, very carefully, the eyes and the lips
yeah.
don't match up with their conversation they're having with you.
That's right. You can just see, you know, like it's dubbed. You know, when you yeah,
Exactly. Exactly. And they will and all over the world, depending on which country you're in, you might be in Germany. So they will speak to you in German. You know,
yeah,
I mean, it doesn't matter. It's all to do with they can actually scam you and they can do the voice cloning. Also, another thing is too is the VoIP numbers. Now, what VoIP numbers is voice over internet protocol numbers.
yeah,
And anybody can get one of those. You just get one off the internet. Easy. And
yeah.
they can manipulate it so it will show you that it's coming from a certain country.
Yeah. Or a certain state in America. Yeah,
Yeah. You have to really listen to us, everyone. Look, and I mean, we're not the only ones here. ScamHaters United are global. So we have got sites in the UK, in Spain,
Philip.
um, Philippines, yes, Philippines, us, America. We are global. And regardless, I mean, we do Australia and New Zealand, but if you do come to us from another country, we will not turn you away.
No, that's
Definitely
right.
not.
Help
Because
anyone.
to us, you are a victim and we will help you. We'll educate you and
Even
we'll
if you want
see you through.
searched, you know, if you want to search and find out if you're talking to the real person, even reach out, you know.
Mm, mm, yep, exactly. Um, it's I was just absolutely dumbstruck the last 24 hours. The stories that I've heard um, of people coming to us and speaking to me, and I just needed to do this urgent podcast with you, Alicia, because it's very sad. It's out of hand. It's going to get worse. Um, we're only 6 months out till Christmas.
Hasn't this year?
So yeah, Christmas is just around the corner. Um, and then, of course, overseas, you know, here in Australia, we've got it too, but you've got Halloween is coming up, Thanksgiving. There's so many that they will use.
Yeah,
to look, you know, one victim I had, she was in a scam, and very sadly her mother passed away. She had to go interstate to a mother's funeral, and the scammer was still talking to her the day of her mother's funeral. How disrespectful.
Yeah, that's right.
They haven't got any remorse, and they don't give one iota about you. All they worry about is how much money they can make. And another thing is also the money laundering. We did touch on that very, very briefly, but with the money laundering, that's a very serious offence, the money laundering. Do you want to explain how it works, Alicia?
Well, they'll ask you to receive some money for them. Say, like, if you've paid money, especially if you've given them everything and you've got nothing left, they'll say, "Oh, look, what about if I get my friend to send you some money, and then you go and then you send it on to me, and you keep a little, like I said, keep a little bit for yourself." And yeah, they how it normally starts. Like,
And you could be one of maybe 6 or 7 victims, and you wouldn't even know it.
yeah, that's right.
You know, and it can be worth a lot of money, and you don't even know that you're being a victim of money laundering until you get that knock on the door from the Australian Federal Police or the FBI, Scotland Yard, and then your world comes crashing down.
Yeah. What money laundering, you can go to jail for it, whether you knew about it or not. Like,
We've got an Australian at the moment who's, where is she, in Japan, I think. She's the one who's in jail at the moment, and they're trying to get her back from Japan to Australia, where she accepted gold bars from her scammer.
yeah,
And she had no idea. She had no idea that she was carrying the gold bars. A
it was
so-called
of the suitcase. And the other one was,
that's her. That's her.
yeah. I think is that
Yeah,
the
that's
Aboriginal?
yes,
Yeah.
yes,
But there was another
yes.
woman that was in a similar was getting scammed by the same people. I think so, yeah. And
And
she's been
she,
sent. We're waiting on this other lady.
I think she flew to Brazil. I
Yeah,
think that's the one. She flew to Brazil from Australia. And what had happened was that a scammer had gone to her house to deliver a suitcase and said, can you take this over? And when it went through immigration, no problems at all. But when it got to Rio de Janeiro, they actually scammed the suitcase, and they found, was it cocaine?
yeah.
And oh no, it's just awful, just awful. And I think that lady, she's back home in Australia now, but the other lady is in Japan.
I think she
The
been.
Indigenous lady, lovely,
Yeah,
lovely lady. I feel so sorry for her. Yeah, I don't know if she's going to get back or not.
yeah, yeah. Well, we yet to.
So
Yeah, hope they release her soon because she doesn't.
oh,
She
so
doesn't.
do I. So
Yeah,
do I. So the long and the short of it is, people, there is a script that they will follow, and it's the same script for all the scams. They will be widowed, they'll be divorced, they'll be single. They're in those occupations that we mentioned. They have children who are in boarding school, and they have a nanny that looks after them. They The food is awful. The Wi-Fi is shocking. They can't video call due to regulations, safety regulations on the oil rig, or it's against rules on the base camp. You
Account is frozen.
Yeah, accounts are frozen. Yeah, it's the same script every time. And they will keep you in that scam for a long, long time unless you listen to the warnings.
Yeah.
And the warnings are, and I know it does sometimes break your heart because you've had it's grieving a relationship. That's what it is. It's grieving a relationship. It's not a friendship, but it's a relationship. And your heart is aching.
Yep.
But you do have to block all communication on social media, on WhatsApp, if it's a dating site, everything.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
I know that it can be tempting, but for the love of God, please don't.
You can change your email address and phone number. That'd even be better, because they will try to reach out to you with
Of course they will.
another phone number on WhatsApp or Telegram or whichever. Yeah.
Of course they will. Of course they will. Another thing is also they will quite often say to you, look, I can't, have much TV here. And they'll find out that you've got Netflix. And
Yes.
they'll ask you if they
Yep.
can have your Netflix
So,
account and password. And that is a telling sign, because once they log in, if everybody's got Netflix, you will see where your account has been actioned, and it'll
yes.
come up as Abuja or Lagos,
Yes.
Nigeria.
Yep. Exactly.
And if that isn't proof, I don't know what is. They are criminals. They are rat bags. Sorry, but they are. They're rat bags. You work too hard for your money.
Yep.
Look, I've had victims that, have actually physically sold their house and given all the proceeds to the scammer,
Yeah.
all the house proceeds, plus their superannuation, which is like your 401k in the
Yeah.
US, and they've been left penniless.
Yeah. Yeah. Look at that woman that for the Deanna Reeves scam. She's living in her car. She's giving him everything.
Mm, mm, mm.
Another
It's,
broken heart.
yeah. So everyone, if you are a victim, and as I said, there is no embarrassment. You don't have to be embarrassed. You are not stupid, and you do not have to feel worthless or ashamed. It can happen to anyone, and it does happen to anyone.
It does. That's right. Doesn't matter how hard.
Don't be a victim of sending intimate images. I've had victims tell me that they've sent very intimate images, and they've sent intimate videos of them doing, well, you know what? Don't do it.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's, yeah, we've got to really, really crack down. And look, everyone, Alicia and Gayleen and Ruth and Caesar, they bring so much awareness and education. I couldn't ask for I love working with these people because they are very diligent in what they do. We've all walked the walk, and we have the right to talk the talk.
You know
We've
what it feels.
been there.
Trust us. Come to us. We'll help you.
Yeah, yeah, yep, yep.
Asking you for any.
So
Give you our time. And you can talk to us anytime.
Mm, mm. And as I said, we will offer you a video call. because I personally like that idea because of the transparency, and you can, and it's one-on-one, and you can tell each other anything and everything, and it's private.
Yes, that's right.
It's absolutely private, and we will not share your story. It's totally confidential, and we'll make you feel welcome. Because I know when you do come to us, some of you are at your lowest of low,
Yes.
and we are very, very sympathetic to what you are going through. No, and we just want to get a hand on this,
Yes.
because
And
yeah.
beware anybody saying they can get your money back, the recovery scam. No one can get your money
Oh,
back.
thank you. Yes, thank you, Alicia, for bringing that up. Yes.
No one will get your money back. No.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of the platforms they'll have recovery agencies. No,
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 that's all.
they're scammers yet again. Or they'll send you a link to a recovery agency, and it will be a lawyer who
Yeah.
contacts you. It's rubbish. As I said, look here in Australia, it's a little bit easier compared to some countries. We're still fighting for it, but it is a bit easier.
Yeah.
And we always say, first of all, make a police report. You have to make a fraud report because you've got that on file.
Yeah.
Then go to your financial institution and be totally honest with the bank manager or whoever you're going to see. If you can't talk to your family, you either come to us, or we also suggest maybe seeking a counselling service.
Yes.
We're not counsellors ourselves, but we firmly believe in mental health and well-being. I know I do. And there is counsellors out there who can help you through that. We can tell you what the stages are to do to try and recover your money, and that is the financial institutions and whatever, but it's up to the financial institution themselves.
Yes, that's right.
So we can't say you're going to get your money back, but it's not only about the money. As I said, it's about the whole situation. Your whole world has come crashing down.
Yeah.
It's awful.
And you will get
It,
past it at some time. You'll get past the
you
scam.
do,
It's been
you
5 years,
do
6 years actually, yeah, for me. But
for you.
yeah. And I still have
Yeah.
days where I think about it and get angry with myself, but I get past it. And now I've always got money in my pocket, and all my friends know what happened, and I've got a good support team with friends, and yeah,
I was very, very lucky where
your family.
I've got the most amazing family anybody could have. And they supported me all the way through. So they listened to me, and mine finished only 17 months ago. So I'm a newbie, as they could say. And it's still quite traumatic when I go there, but I think of how far I have come, and I can honestly say I can thank Ruth for that. Ruth Grover from ScamHaters United in the UK. She is absolutely incredible.
Really is.
And I said, look, I soaked everything up like a sponge that she gave me, all the education and awareness. And because of that, ScamHaters United Australia and New Zealand were born, because we had nothing down here in this geographical region. Um, and I'm just absolutely totally amazed. And I think our top 3 scams down here, well, probably the first one is the investment.
Yes.
Then the romance scam would come in second, and then the cryptocurrency.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
those
so they're our main things here.
seem to have gotten worse by the sound of it. Yeah. Probably because I was
Mm,
on romance scams.
that's right. But Alicia, thank you. I really wanted to do this podcast at the last minute, only because, as I said, 5 victims within the last 24 hours, and we really do care, and we are desperate to help you, because we know what it's like. You know, it's life-changing. We're all very approachable. I've got Caesar. Now Caesar is retired US military. He's now a veteran. If you're in a romance scam, Caesar will talk to you. He works for all the ScamHaters United worldwide. He's very approachable. So if you need to talk to him, let me know, and then I will contact him, and we'll go from there. But thank you, Alicia.
No problem.
Let's
That's
hope that we've got the word out. We must do this again.
Yep.
Because it's a never-ending battle, and we really have to try and kick this in the butt. You know, they're evil, evil, evil. That's all I can say.
Yeah. That's evil, greedy, cruel, heartless. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, Alicia, thanks very much, and I'll see you later.
Okay. Bye. Bye everyone.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye. Now, how do I get out? Oh yeah.